Logi jinzo gibe sonam gin dola panjire
Sangye Lubara Jo
Sangye
Jegan Zoje Sonam Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyabzonje Andage Jinso Gibe Sonam Dola Benje Sangye Lubara Jo
Sangye
Chedan Zoje Sonam Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyabzonje Andage Jinso Gibe Sonam
Dola Benjire Sangye Lubara
I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and by the merit created in this practice, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. From now on to enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and by the merit created in this practice, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. From now on to enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and by the merit created in this practice, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings.
Kongi tujingi zungwa tawa tanje tambe chire tambe chini tanje be kodamde la cha cha lo. Oda lama chibe na la. Chigun number yawa hyobane chigun zembe tome nelu la tseji nyamran jobe tinzingi samden parjin zo parjingi lo zeta samdengi parjin se ngone chana chik shivuji ta chinon tumo 냠는 제 차야레 이나야 something sende sem 지집에 sem tempo도 마주이나 아니 남베 투모마인베 대성 규마트비 아니 동반이데 또야게 탑시거나 요 말에 어떻게 예 가서래 동이 에 원도 규례하게 답에 답람 거나요 말에 인디가라 동이 또발라 sem 지집에 지네투가다 시우지게 첨부 잡아래 와다 송이 또 먹은 간사지나 샘기 지도 두발라 샘 제지버 두야 시우지 개침부 차상 곧 지나 도모 개주 잡아레스
In the Guru Puja text, there's a verse on practice of meditation or contemplation or single-pointed meditation. By eliminating mental dullness and mental agitation and engaging in the understanding of the true reality, may I be blessed with the practice of calm abiding or single-pointed meditation. And calm abiding meditation or single-pointed or concentration or meditative stabilization, whatever you call it, this meditation is considered as something that is common for both Buddhists and non-Buddhist practitioners. However, to understand Buddhist concept of emptiness, that nature of things being illusion, there is no way to understand this concept without going through the practice of calm abiding meditation or single-pointed meditation. And but however, it doesn't mean that somebody who is not interested at all in attaining understanding of emptiness, they can also have a great benefit of having a practice of calm abiding meditation, and beginning with the such kind of simple as attaining peace of mind. So therefore, this practice of calm abiding meditation or concentration is considered as equally important both in Buddhist as well as non-Buddhist faith.
Wata tendi jini tuballa tendi ke sem tempo de yomar chaballa chik galken sel twinken tubugone sem tempo de tubor maso chik molam tebatamji ta ne be labatamji ti sem tempo de lela baji tubiye ten zawani yomares digala galken seya ke galken karasel gore sidugala ini 진렘 인슈마 몰람 수도 순샤게 연된 시기르면나 즉 lobby you lay in what she yanda to the Jubaji Sung to us. Lobby you Sidugala, meeting cho, Galkin say at the Sungore, Kanchi, Chingugi, Kanchi, some me but Chile Jagodi, me but the train pay, Yani, some churl the tree, Yani, some duta pe wonky, in Nandu duta any, Chima, Kanchi Chingo want to chana, any Jigmare said Sigore. The or Javala thinking the tension it then was it is from what. Then the shoe, this all money catch him.
Calm abiding meditation. In order to have this kind of meditation, obviously, one can't, accomplish just making wishes and prayers. So what one needs to do is eliminations of all obstacles, to attain that kind of calm, abiding mental state, or to attain that kind of single-pointed, stable mind. Eliminations of all obstacles and attaining of all positive features or suitable conditions that is needed. And so we find in such as the prayer, foundation of all knowledge, saying that by destroying wrong conceptions through scattering of mind, and then engaging in the meaningful understanding of the reality. This basically, foundation of all knowledge, as many of you know, it's a prayer. It's stages of path presented in the form of prayer. So what it is saying here is basically, eliminating all kinds of distractions, beginning with two most obvious obstacle of the meditation, mental. The scattering of mind could happen from both these two obstacles, mental agitation or excitement, or on the other hand, mental dullness or mental laxity. Both could become a source of scattering or wandering of the mind. And how can you eliminate and how can you at least reduce those two obvious obstacle of the concentration is by application of two, this practice, mindfulness and introspection.
What tendi indigala tenda was chik semki jidiruala ta semni gu ser tampo titugo. Sabe pe jinetuala semni gu de ngondu mando tablam kono yo mare semni gu de mi pegale ne semne be rimbe wang paja shageci tendi ja shageci rimba tendi semgi rimba tendi chayo res.
So to attain, this kind of calm, abiding meditation or single-pointed, there's no way other than kind of going through, as many of you know, 9 stages of calm, abiding meditation. And those 9 stages of meditation are the stages or nature of the mind during which the mind is, single-pointedly kind of trying to focus on whatever the object of observation. So one must kind of go through those processes, 9 stages of practicing calm abiding.
What simne good carrier the cousin dinner pay Lojongime was the Nakra, what some mother means what? That he was a thing, Kazotu Tujima Tungar Lozantili Dina, Sevutu, so also Lorna some goods. Then you can tambo digaran modon de losh and us. Tell us same job as other same job as a non job. And non corner job as a Kunkin Janjiba, non corner that the Jelenam Jundajini. Then there is some Gijina, same the non to Vini. Now, Connor in Tabshin, some Gigi to Yaji Mato, the same now to Mother Churro the Yujina, Yevaina, the Tendo Ginesing the Iacona Mayinza, same non corner job as a Ginjanja, but this Mudua, same job as Yundun job, Lending job, Nevaran job, Tura job, Jivar Jeba, Number Jivar Jeba, Zeju Jeba. Tanyum the Chetos, that Indiana dustua. That's manda manda tanidu. Pagi top la jari on the gala manda yongudu totosa. Kebi sungtul manda insara dosun yongudu otatu. Di ugutela semne gutir sigores.
In our book, Mind Training Like the Rays of the Sun, at the end, at the concluding part, you will see it mentioned very briefly about, calm abiding meditation. And Turkish is saying that we will go, little more than what is presented here about calm abiding meditation. And beginning with the 9 stages in practicing calm abiding meditation. And so those 9 stages of meditation, beginning with the placing the mind or setting the mind. In Quinten Javansheba, a great scholar, in his book he add one more kind of a word. He says not only placing or setting the mind, but he says placing or setting the mind within or inside. There's emphasis of word inside or inner kind of placement, and setting or placing the mind, and then second is continuous setting, third resetting, close setting, taming, pacification, third pacification, single pointedness, setting in equipoise. So these are the 9 stages, but however you will find a slightly different kind of translations, or maybe different usage of the words used by different scholars.
Oda ta tangbo sem nang du jo ba se de karzana sem mi ta ngarang zo tangbo mi de ji gala pa mi de ji jane tan mi de su su chululam ma ji ge ndoba men de gen teni ina rang kan de si ndoba yese cha jin ki se chala ji la ni pe 미대 자네 semdeene pe nangdu thotap chiyaji sungware. Oda dindigala nangchu khelingne tembe kunye chunchuji ji chenbo ji jigoyendenge sarfuji ani minsam te khadu dela do sene de dostene te gala semne etup taye dosil taware. Oda tile semne tangbo ene sem nangdun jo basi adela karzana ngato ta tanda portu 망체 semde be churul chode korwa doyongni yula churul chode kore dinde sem nangdo duya shivuji kangali yore tangpode dinde kan disungdo semmi ba tomar stopate dine tangpo semde mibi sandu ja zamjite perna metoke sandu ndongbum ba paltar senjambale yunring de mitu paltar mibe sandu leptam mata yenro watang yang leptam jan talna yenro watabu tini tomar sen nangdu jobatin samdang jode ganja disungdo medolam bangbu yunring de tabshi khona yo marwa 균 대두고 걸어요 말와 나랑 좀 sem 미백을 자야게라 꼼빠메 인사 미백을 내가 말했으면 치료도 틀고 가래 어다 딘데지기 내갑질라 니 셈낭도 줘봐 세대 낭 권한 줘봐서데 군전 자집에 숨어야 됐다 동원에 지전남 쪽인다래 탑시신다 요 말 셈낭도 누마도 있나 같이 딘도에 셈네들 두 말에서 숨 야지겠다 바테 숨고하래 와다 지전남 쪽에서 와다 두숨고 딘드가라 오늘 빼데 닌지부도와 셈 낭도 줘봐 세야 되나 셈 유점 마다 민데가라 데투고 말에 엔디치네가라 셈 유점 줘야 되다 오늘 알아서 제니 셈기 시대 두야게 꼼바다 마선 포고와 나대 오늘 덴디지레스 덴디인데다 셈땅 셈니 땅보즈 덴디지레스 원진지거레스
Here's reading from a book by Tungar Losantile, the scholar, and his commentary on these stages, 9 stages of practicing calm, abiding meditation. The first setting or placing the mind. This is basically kind of bringing your mind to the object of the observation, and here it depends what you want to have for your object of observation, the target object, what object you want to focus your mind upon. Somebody who has no religious belief, they can use object that is dear to them, easy to kind of have image in their mind. And the point here is that keep your mind inside or focused, and of course for Buddhist practitioners always recommend image of Buddha, a small statue at the height of your forehead or eyebrow, small image but heavy, bright, and trying to kind of leave your mind as long as you can. Because generally our mind is not used to that kind of single-pointed concentration. All the time we are so much kind of our mind is engaged in extraneous activities, running after mostly 5 objects of desire, and therefore keeping mind single-pointedly on one object is something that we are not so familiar with, and it becomes difficult, since we are not familiar with. And in his book, he used an example of kind of a bee trying to sit on or stay on a flower, and they try to do that. They come back and then try to suck, but then they don't stay long. They just fly away. Then they try to come back, and that's how, at the beginning stage, our mind does with whatever we try to focus upon. It sits there for a very short time, then it just scattered or wander or goes away, and there's no ability for the mind to stay single-pointedly. And so mind able to kind of stay on the object that you try to stay, the timing is extremely short. It happens, then it just disappears. It happens, it disappears. So there's no continuation of the that single-pointedness. And the point here is that as the name itself says, you are just trying to make your mind place, set, keep your mind on the object, and that's the only kind of sort of job here. And in more kind of closely, as said before by Kunchen Jaben Sheba, he used this word, keeping mind inside. And when he says inside, what he is implying is that there is no other option, there is no other method. When you want to develop, calm abiding meditation, you must start from, bringing your mind inside.
What that you think that to what? Then you got like Kunchen Jaben Sheba, Pamungantina Duats. 당보 곰갱엔데도 윤정부지기어 말했어. 윤통통제 양리 양도 제과데 개첨버랑 알아서 꼼밤에 인자 윤정부지는 탕치로 와. 휴로로 더부지데 곰개 두스제바이나 제마페 렌토가 휴주그리 야르무제 대승도 와. 윤통통제 샘 또랑 여베터니 유점 karmanga 주수 정하서 되니 꼼바 레기 되는 샘데네 지리다니 소소 좋아레기 어디 인디가라 윤퉁퉁제데 배대 대송도와 매 첨부지 담아 있나 아니 매대 메신데서 매대 배제 당에 매제 사슈치다나 매대 배제 소소이 롱제 두고 말았던다지 매대 배 지중된 바지다 신내 배제게 양양도 내 배제게 집에나 메신데 윤림부터 배 룬두스제네 아니 배 다다 윤신 두고 아래 아니 메기 쫓대 따다 가지고 와야 그 나라 이 시리 니부지 수수 네트 버와 어디 텐션에 지데 디좀 내가 전벌이 디 파봉게 때 로한난다 배 미시베 군진자지 배 답에 섬수나나 따가랑 빼야 그래서 배 미시베 야버리
So at the beginning stage, as mentioned by both Pabonga Rinpoche in his book that we studied, and also Kunchen Jaben Sheba in his big book called concentration and stages of form. Both of them, mentioned the importance of keeping your mind for a very short time, keeping your session very short at the beginning, and short session, but over and over again, and that is very important. Instead of trying to sit for a long time, and otherwise, when your meditation is not going well and trying to kind of make yourself sit for a long time, that will bring a very kind of negative impact later. You might also His Holiness says that when you see meditation cushion later, you feel really kind of disgusting, that you don't want to sit on that. So the point here is that try to concentrate on your kind of mind staying on the object, and do it for a short time, and then doing it again. And there should be kind of your kind of interest, maintaining continuously. And we also see kind of using an example of when you want to keep a fire for a long time, just adding a fuel or wood, little bit, and keep it for a long time so that you can use it instead of making a huge fire and then kind of disappear. So that process of timing is very important at the beginning stage.
곰신데 좋아요 토니 곰도 참자고 그래. 치마 제야를 탕미 제했던 달라. 좋아요 토니 곰지 참자. 니 치마는 주버지와이나 류라데보니 셈란지 조낭레그리스 송도와. 이 여름이 배 미스버 nembuchin sungi ngaso tambo jiti gala kharso korta 직 harta lin rimbo je ani yugu petega thang chebachena ten sawanyin du mare gundana muje sunare yuma thani kepe kobande jasumlun se jeme yambe ker tende tela chiame somba chui gyujin ten jangso sungda somba 오미나다 까린나 시인지 장기나다 좀봐도 죽인나 진짜네 아니 배 또랑 여바지 토니 니집에이나 배자 질러난다 아니 가시 집에이나 진인도 그러와 아니 딜라 아니 배 당보 윤린 다 줬지 딜리 젬발로 주나 아니 딜린 주야라 강할 갈리티 그러와
And His Holiness kind of advise taking a break for your meditation without losing interest, and so that you will have a desire to do meditation after a break, with kind of same interest. Instead of as said before, if you try to keep a meditation very long without good concentration, you might get tired, exhausted, and losing kind of complete interest. So maintaining your interest continuously. And most of us tend to do that, try to have a very good meditation, long session, which quite often doesn't work at the beginning level. And Kongdan Rinpoche used this kind of, mentioned that somebody kind of practitioners, expecting everything kind of accomplishing in kind of couple of days. For that kind of mindset, nothing will achieve. And what is needed here is that continuous effort, continuous diligence. And what is needed here in meditation is, doing it over and over without losing interest.
Wata tenjiga yundun joba siade. Da 직 대기 바기 미대가라 그협 협지마도 내 두부 그런 요 말에 미대가라 셈데. 다 중세 윤싱긴지라 에닐레 윤든 joba siade. 중세 윤싱와지라 고구그레스 송도와 내 여름부터 nembo 송기 어다 되게 네가 날다 다가랑도 대마타도 윤투 맞나 다사 윤중세 투투발라 저진 지두갈라 어다 된지 라니 윤든 조바세데 윤림보 데베카차다 마레 나마 데 마투라사요 중세 싱투겐지라 윤든 조바세 시거레스.
Second is continuous setting. The continuous meaning here is that the first stage, as we said, we try to kind of keep mind on the object, but that doesn't happen for long. It's just really kind of quick, short moment. So what you're doing in the next stage is trying to kind of prolong that period. You're trying to make that time of your mind on the object a little bit longer than the first one. So you're making that effort again and again, and to keep mind longer on the object.
Wata lenden jo basari garum sungri maranzo lenden jo basari gala tulo jingba chasano ko igum bidugura tele lemba gena lemba gyapsata hagu goarte ta kanji lemba gena ta igunde katugura wata tena jinchene mite shorina mite shorada hagu gogone enipe yankyurte gala deshitene mite gala jatu baji chuaina tele lenden jo basari sungudo as.
The third is resetting. Sometimes you'll find a translation of like patch-like setting, which is, as his owner says, it's like you have a hole on your cloth, and when you have that, of course, of your awareness, and what you try to do is try to use a patch, and same thing kind of working with your mind. When you see that your mind is going out and there's a hole of the concentration, you use kind of mindfulness, introspection, and try to bring back your concentration.
Dinala kondizunga teni semde ying tsetsam sang soso hakone semde mipe sangto tsur ngu tubala zeres perna ta khashurwala ngu tubal tabu se ota tu sungdo ta khashurzuna sabka ka tubajila ani 구투하려 거고 어다 디스 송도 어다 디스 오네 야보도 앞에서 야보도 어다 두스제네 즉 이한해양도 다 전실 ten야도 뒤변 내가 전부래 전실도 끝뒤나 뺏게 전부래 템바싱인데 샘데미 베칼라 트레 네투비야데 템백팅네 아니 쇼도 민두 자라쟁인데 시진생인데 시진디 작하고 소바존데지래 미스베게 전부래 전신이 전바다 시진딩이 연나 차와 간리지 중앙이나 비다타 중앙이지 차디어 때 균도 된 거야지 간리지 중나 소소 때 지네 담마레 소소레 클라와 레가 간리지 지기나 전신이 왜 깨침부 차디어래
Resetting the mind. In the book, the commentary that he's reading, it basically says, able to bring back your mind to the object that you are trying to focus upon. And it used the example of, when you are riding a horse and the horse is going everywhere, able to bring back where you want to, go your horses. So kind of bringing back horse under your control. That's what is, said here, resetting. And that is done by, as you know, in meditation, the two most important kind of tool is, mindfulness and introspection. Mindfulness, what it does is, keep your awareness or, mindful kind of continuously. And introspection, it does kind of, looking at your mind and making sure that your mind is on the object or not. So these two, introspection and mindfulness, are something that is, of course, must for meditation, but it is something that is needed for whatever activities that we do.
대주고 대가는 내비 겹나 아니 소소 야부 차그리스 마다 강가 칭되는 야부 말에 딱 전신인데 10분 내 점벌이 아니 전주나라 시진기 리우 줄도 리우 아빠데 시진기 리우로 와 내 전부 인상 시진 리우데 게 다주 송도 와
these two tools of meditation is very important, obviously, mindfulness and introspection. And so first it is kind of helpful, to kind of training yourself in able to kind of using these two, although later you'll find there are other kind of, like 8 antidotes. And the importance of introspection or introspective mind, we find kind of because of its importance and significance, separate entire chapter in Shantideva's book, Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. The chapter 5 is all about introspection.
Oda, I never enjoy bath. Never enjoy bath. Kanishli sigore. That jingo nila, marshal was one, jingo ni jingwa tang go pase. Oda jingo ni marshal wa, jingo ni wangdo marshal tapsi jet, that tablam jenny, tapsi jenny tambo, jingo wata chu war, jingwa sing the condition, go pase in the condition. That we mazina, the ko marshal jet to yakran yomarwa. Go passing the so the chaka yulde, doing a yula to go are, some chiru the two war. Tambo mazo kangal chisotere. That any jingwa sing the some haja, some chiru the true much, the hajang some dutana, any kanje mitigi, me pagi, me pa misala chadu war. Some hajang dutana, what that the village jingwa said the jingwala tarani. Opalan try ni do Sijagadwa. What that is only Mato Shiwa de Tichadore. What that Jiwala Lumasen Jiwala Tamola Gavayas Sundu, Yarmaja Sundu, Ejana Tagara Sundu. What that Maranso Mazon Jiling and new mains at that Peja down Yarmuj Sungale, Ichi and Tichi Mother, Sunyantoni, Latuya Mare. Gopa touch the Chatori, the Sungtua, the Chachato, the Indigala, doing a letter, the be to the Galaco, the Chachato Chagor, what are those chinny? Touch the Miguare, what that Chimala, Rakbala, Lumasen, Tawala Gawayore, what that is Sundu. What that Chinguanilla Marshal was Zuma, Chinguani. Jingwa the gopa, Jingwala, Tawa the Raba gopa, Tamola Raba the gopa ni. What that do sine, Kansi Jingwatara, Winjinja, they catch him.
The fourth stage is close setting. Close setting in the commentary, it says not letting your mind under the influence or under the power of those two obstacles, dullness and agitation, and keeping your mind away from those two obstacles or barriers. And for that, of course, one needs to have understanding of what those two are: mental dullness and agitation. And mental agitation, as said before, is extension, or it's a part of attachment. That aspect of the mind that always goes out and wander and scattered. While on the other hand, mental dullness and laxity is the aspect of the mind when you concentrate too much. There's experience of mind being not clear, murkiness, sleepiness, dullness. Too much concentration is dullness, and too much hyper kind of scattering of the mind, mental agitation or excitement. And both of these two, as said before, has subtle and gross level. Mental agitation or excitement in its entirety, in its completely considered as a negative mental factor. On the other hand, mental dullness or laxity, gross level or coarse level, is considered as by nature kind of neutral. It's neither positive nor negative. The subtle, dullness is considered as it sometimes it could have a positive mind, as His Holiness says, and also in the text. So he's just using His Holiness kind of words, since Krishna himself saying that don't have an experience of this subtle meditation of dullness.
What do you do? Semi pigala pa jane. Salcha ina, salcha ngarmena. Mi pa te salgi ina, salcha ngarshu kar. Mi pa mashure pagi salcha yo atamji. Mi pa mashur dala salcha yo atamji la sal tab jiwara pa leti ore lagdwa. Jiwara pa ke. 어다 살차데 요 간지라 살차 ngorsu 메디가라 셈달 똥배 지와 첨을레 뛰어서 주다 미백에 내데 요 간지라 살차면나 지와라 봐 살차 요익장 살차 ngorsu 메나 지와 첨 니 파봉게 되네 뺏살부여래 장줄로스
How can one know, the subtle and gross level of mental laxity? It was very clearly explained in the Pabunga's text, "Liberation in the Palm of Your Hand." There's when you are focusing on object, even though there's a stability that your mind is on that object, but when it is lacking clarity, then that is the sign of influence of gross, laxity. However, there is a clarity, but there is a lacking of intensity of that clarity, and that shows, or that's a sign of, subtle laxity influencing your mind.
와다 고파 트라테 가르치 작도나 둥그라 로잔 틀린디는 니 숭도스 고파 라파 초솔라 셈양와테 고파 라파 인저 karsa gopa rapa zarwani rang semde nyomo tusum gi yildan tejin ngagyal khong thato khongtro sola semyawate gopa rapa inzar ta ngone nyomo ngondu kyuryo pagi 내가라네 배 semchirudo nyomo ngondu kyuryo ngoyana ta gopa rapa lebre se sungwa ta tengone rabenan rapa inzar ta te indigala decha khongtro ngagyal mari basing de 타지도 미가 깨지게 삼바차지 그러와 오다 이 숭도와 오다 때리 오고파라파 아니 오고파 타모니 랑게센데 너차 희위 율도 양바당 페르나 제 잡tro당 링카 동와당 대신 에 김기 레가솔라 양완에 오고파 타모니 인저스 오다 두스 숭도와 오다 되게 간제 띵인 주야게 괜찮아요레스
And in that commentary by Tongarlo Santile, he identifies, this subtle and gross agitation or excitement. Gross or coarse agitation or excitement is simply kind of your mind totally, influenced or overcome by any kinds of afflictions such as attachment, hatred, anger, jealousy. That is really kind of coarse, extremely coarse level of mental excitement. And subtle excitement or agitation, he says that when your mind is, although not totally or kind of on the negative emotion, but you are kind of enjoying, entertaining based upon such as the attachment, like a song or music, or so your mind is kind of, although it is based on, but it is really enjoying the pleasure or joy deriving from those object of attachment. So both becomes kind of for practitioners scattering or wandering of the mind, and therefore obstacles for the calm abiding meditation or single pointedness.
오다 둘을 잡아대 다 띵인 띵리기 진고 왕도 쉬는데 띵인 연된 삼로다네 간 진고 왕도 미셔에다가 띵인기 파연단에 답하게 년부터에서 대순 거였어요. 가지 오고바 중나 렘상 오고바 간데스킨도 대 답시 맞았지. 샘데 파게 파 통부천이 샘추로도 두고야 인자 대샘 파자야 돈달라. 아니 즉 뭐네야 이리 삼다야다. 아니 때마인바 덤베네 후송투기 연된데야다. 오다 데리기 때밖에야 인딩인딩기 파인 삼다야. 데리 중앙이나 좋아지기로 와양. 좋아지기야. 어때 데니 주고 뭐였어. 아니 중앙이나 sembayang tur hajang dimjaina semba 토르 땅에 던달라 좋아게 오다 되기 노래 우고바키디가라 지와미다 바삼탄투이 고에 동알 삼탄투이 오다 간지 수 에니베 지와미다 바타모 미다 바타모 빼 깨지지든 진조가야 오다 되게도 삼다나 semla jumbale gorwa oda teri jiwa thamule digal jiwa lebna thara karelmna ani tagi tembe kusung thugi yenden jaju ki sengbe bayen nije ani petanda di dingji ki pain tene semna tonang le ya oda tusjini kanji khoni tu sene nyemboten tenya dela tulor cheba kanji be tusjini oda tendigi rimbajela ani kanji nyemboten da jingo ngwe zimbe thoni tele nyimbo ten sa ne pe rimba de tela tulwa chewa te sungwa re sungwa.
Next stage is fifth, taming the mind. So in this stage is the actual application of the antidotes, and for example, when you are experiencing those two obstacles, laziness or excitement. When you're experiencing agitation or excitement, what's happening with the nature of your mind is it's too kind of, sort of hyperactive and fleeting and wandering everywhere. So you really need to kind of bring down the, this sort of energy of the mind. And for that, to do that, you need to kind of think about intentionally impermanent, nature of us suffering of cyclic existence. All, kind of to remind your mind to kind of become less, active. On the other hand, when your mind is under the influence of too much concentration, becoming dull, lack of concentration, dullness or laxity, you need to kind of tune your mind to make it more active. For that, kind of intentionally contemplating or thinking about advantages or benefits of enlightenment, practice of altruism, practice of meditation. So you need to kind of bring your mind to the right level. That is what taming of mind here refers to.
Oda tulwa chapasade so jingwa kyang la jagi sare. Tulwa chapani tingin jingi yenden temba. Jingwa ketsi jingwa thara yenden kang la mateba tingin jingi yenden tena semgi mibatela salpo yongwe tabjebala jingwani tingin jingi yenden tena onsi. Oda yuar chapasade gopala jar. Gopa ki yondugala kontro den dendeki go dati ठोगवार तेसी गोरे गोपाने नवीन की निमी टेंबा गोपा के ना न्योमों ते न्योमों मायें पे सम जला यंग से नमियं दां न्योमों मी पे यंवा लिंगर रोवा नासो ये बसो सम यंग से यंग की निमी टेंबा सो कोई नमियं जरवाने तिंगन जिंगी हेसान ला शुकिन हाजंग रूपो इंबातां रंग सम तला रावं मातबे हेंते तो नमियं इंबे नमियं दे न्यपाते टेंबा दे सुरुंजी Tersen dir gonna namyang nimi tembazer se oda tusir kanji jinggo ni pe ngapa ene pe jingwa ke de ngapa ene pe tulwar cheba ki tingji ni yenden ya teni semjing to ya ani tuba ene pe namba jiwar cheba digala ani goba ki yondigala ani gobe ene pe bagi chi sem jumia ke samnatane semta semba martang ko ware wata dus cheti tindi rimbajila wata tulwa chepata namba jiwar chepata ngone ngana ju de tida nga ju toso samladana hakwayare doa nga ju control chi lemsa control tema tabi keta rang phajotale nemine nizorde rang sende tema todo mai ki baji su yongo doa just control de jeina namba jiwar chepa ngone semna dewaji mandaji ragrowa juto tema 대가는 그래도 대화생인데 lungan 가림기 대화 원점지에서 숨는다가 당한도 시지는 삼단다 되게도 삼단이나 대화생디 녀미기 대화를 해요 말해야 돼 오늘이 lungan 가앞에 가점기 대화 가점들라 대화 원점지에서 녀미기 대화 균이와 말해서 숨도 그러에 대화라 뉴미기 대화 작음에도 둥을 가참 가파 따가란 게 대화 원섬지에서 송도 어떻게 인디가라도 시네 배 뇽토네 또서 디기디 삼단을 꼬레 삼 코르투비아지를 차디가레스
in that commentary, it kind of explains taming, primarily with the taming mental laxity or dullness. While the next one, pacification, is used mainly for pacifying agitation or excitement, and when there is excitement or agitation of the mind, what actually happening is that your mind is, scattering or wandering. It is not. It's going everywhere. It's not on the object where you try to keep it. And so, as said before, we need. You need to kind of bring down the level of mind's energy, and bring down that kind of hyperactivity of the mind, and bring back to the object of the observation. And these experiences are sometimes not so difficult to understand when we kind of use to look at this through our own experiences. When we have a strong feeling of anger or hatred, although there is no guarantee that having that kind of strong emotion in your mind, there is no guarantee that whether it's going to harm individual that you are trying to intend it. But what is kind of definite is that it will disturb your mind. There is it will take away your calmness or peacefulness of the mind. So when you try to kind of stay away from that kind of disturbances, or you can experience that kind of relaxation or pacification of the mind. So generally, when we look at the happiness or joy or pleasure of the mundane world, it is not a kind of genuine or pure happiness. It is rather a moment of cessation of suffering. When there's a cessation or end of one suffering, the immediate kind of feeling is a sense of joy and pleasure. However, that is in itself, it's not a real happiness and joy.
뭐다 넘버 지워지 봐서 둠바다 넘버 지워지 봐서야 돼. 다 디디 둠바 버도 친구 원도 규규만 되게 걸어 가서 배현다 용거라. 디인데 넘버 다디 디니 고파 콘설 두반 도차 제당 티무소 헤데 고파라바 중데 뉴무 헤나 뉴무비 니미텐스 도차케나 도차기 니미텐 제당케나 티무기 제당다 티무소 헤나 제당게 티무기 니미텐 바탄스 와다 도차케다 미두보군 거죠 강 도차케 일데 미두보시 따와이나 딜리 기그마르바 와다 티기디순 거라 타도 송아겔서나소데 헤나 데체 수시 니미텐네 셈미비도도 추르 탱고에스 디니 딜 뉴몽케나티 니미 템발라자르스 와다 직 남바시와르체 바다 뉴몽 간직 뉴몽 니미테네 아니 뉴몽도 고탑제야 돼 딜라 남바시와르체 바다 베 뉴몽 마케나타 셈지데 텐덴데 거와 와다 티시고 디디 다 dimba 남바시와르체 바도 간지 친구 니게 아니 켄딜 맞아 인가자 진디 거래. 배낭 안아서 미 기타 타마시게 미라파 기타 자이나 그 러탄도서는 담보지는 담보 제산데 쳐 마시지 항상 담다 그러와. 양은 담다서데 술로 샤고라. 어떻게나 진가서 곰게디글라 셈미페간래 다 셈네 담보니 줌바 퍼도 답에 참딜라 이 지와레페 강알 니 지와데 레드스 semba thot yang chingwa de semba thor tang jo thotapi ene pe sem chirul thoi ro ne ti kangal te ta semne dumba par de yong gware ti pe tempo chene ta te portu ngaso tenshi tengwa de te portu karsa korta jingoji kende semne dumba portu yongu yawata ta ngunjin tuba jugo ares.
Next stage is number 7, thorough pacification or complete pacification. Up to here, there is always influence of those two, main obstacle: mental agitation and dullness. So either there's a problem of you you are trying to focus too much, or either your mind is wandering too much, and you are trying to kind of working on that, to keep your mind at the right level, just like somebody who is trying to tuning with guitar string. It is becoming either too tight or too loose, and so that's what's happening up to 7, and we need to know that up to 7, working primarily with those two, laxity and agitation. And here one also practitioners also when there is a arising of any kinds of negative emotions, hatred, anger, attachment, jealousy, practitioners try to reduce or eliminate those negative afflictions, using mainly the understanding of the negative impact of those negative emotions.
자동 rendemide.
Yes, we'll take a break here.